Okay, this is what I have here. Let me take a tweezers. Yes, I think for this video we're gonna use this one here, which is the most blocky. Show the color maybe. Color is very nice. Also the inclusions are not that bad. This is a natural emerald, the way it comes out from the mines. We're gonna go for a squarish, maybe slightly elongated rectangle. Emerald cut, of course. Now, the first step you gotta do is to establish which would be the top. So it means the table of the gemstone. And usually you decided checking the widest side of the stone. In this case, so we got to measure. The first thing, we measure the stone on different sides. This side is 7 millimeters, and this side is 5.5 millimeters. 5.5 millimeters on this side. So probably we can establish this as the thickness of the stone. 5 millimeters, 5.5, and the width 7. Alright, now we're gonna grind off a bit, so it's gonna be like maybe from half millimeter to 1 millimeter smaller than what we got now here. But one thing is very important. I don't like to make shallow stones. I like to have maximum brilliance for many gemstones. So what I do, I get these cutting diagrams, and the first thing I do is I check the P on W and the C on W. Wait, I'll show you better. You cannot see here now. Yeah, the pavilion on the width and the crown on the width. You put this together because the pavilion on the width, it would be this size here, the bottom. And the crown on the pavilion on the width is going to be the top, right? So this thickness is here. If you put these two values together, the pavilion on the width plus crown on the width, you're going to come out with a ratio to the width of the thickness of the whole stone. Do you understand? So if I have a stone which is 5.5 millimeters thick, like this one here, I just divide this 5.5 millimeters divided by the sum of P on W plus C on W, and it'll come out what's the maximum expected width of the stone, still keeping a good angle so you cannot see through the stone. So I did this, and more or less what it comes out, it's about a stone which is about 6 millimeters wide, because this is 5.5 millimeters thick. Now I'm not gonna keep this cutting diagram. I'm just gonna use a standard emerald cut, but more or less it's always P on W plus crown on W is usually in the average 0.7. So if I divide the 5.5 divided by 0.7, comes out a width of about 6 millimeters, which is perfect because we got 7 here. Alright, so we're gonna have nice angles for maximum reflection. And if I want to go further with that, I can even establish more or less what would be the final weight of the stone, getting the width, expected width, the cutting diagram volume on W cubed, in this case is 1.5, and go on my website on the page where you can calculate the gemstone's weight, and you can actually visualize what will be the final weight of this gemstone, which I did already, and it comes out just about 1.5 carats finished. Okay, this should be about 3 carats something in this stage now. So, but let's move on. I explained to you how to decide about the cutting. Let's go on. Next step is going to be realizing a flat surface, like absolutely flat surface, which will be our table, and we're gonna leave it rough in a way that the glue or the wax we're gonna put is gonna have maximum key to it, maximum grabbing power. Let's go. Okay, as you can see, the stone is not that big, so we're not gonna go rougher than a 220 grit lap. Just switch on a bit of water, dripping. And we realize the flat surface was supposed to be our crown, our table. Okay. Alright, loose water. And if you can see it, see that? That's a flat surface, going to be our table and our place where we're going to hold the stone from. Alright. Next step is to dop this thing. First of all, we heat up slowly and mildly the stone. For this I realize a little burn like this. And as you can see, the stone will cook a while on top there. Especially with emeralds you have to be very careful, because there might be liquid inclusions inside, and if you bring it up too much on the heat, they can just blow off the stone completely. Or even if the stones, maybe they are treated or they got some filling inside, it might break the stone. So the heat should be very gentle, like that. We're gonna cook it for a while and then we're gonna prepare the dop. We're gonna choose one of the flat dops, because the stone we're gonna work it from the pavilion up. So we're gonna choose a flat one which will not go out of the borders of the stone itself. And I think this would do. So we use this thing. I'll show you how. Heating up the dop and the wax at the same time. We're going to collect the wax into the dop and remove some air bubbles by heating it up and squeezing it like this, squashing the bubbles out, heating it up and squashing the bubbles out, and that's enough. Now with this I'm going to go with the stone and try to grab it quickly. Oh my goodness, this morning my hand is shaking. It's because I'm holding the camera at the other side. So, where is the... yeah. Ay. Okay. Alright. While it's still warm, you put it on a transferring block with a big dop there, the flat one. It doesn't really matter, it can be also a small one. Okay. I try to center it. I usually use my fingers. But we're gonna center it using the machine, just in a few minutes. Like that. we allow the wax to flow and then grab nicely the stone. Alright. So let's put it in now. Now we're going to measure the stone with the machine. We first remove this bulge with our wax, see, to have it flat against the stone. Otherwise we're going to measure the wax instead of the stone itself. Like that. Alright. Of these, you never have enough. Like the ultra laps. Okay, then we fit it on the machine. Alright, so we tie it up. Make sure always that this sign here, this mark, is on 0 when the cheetah is on 0. 96, show you now. There's an aligning mark here, as you can see. So when the cheetah is on 0, yes, when the cheetah is on 0 and the radiant is on 96 and that one is on 0, it means that we have stone completely straight. The machine is ready to cut. Okay, so we put the angle at 90 degrees. So you can see. Lock it there, and then we lower the head down on the mast like this. Always support it while you're dropping it down for obvious reasons. Okay. On my previous videos I already show you how to center the stone to the top. It's called targeting. I use always the machine because it's the easiest and most reliable. You see, I put one facet, let's call it 96, which is 96 on 0. When you turn on 48, which is the opposite direction, you see it is not on 0 here, but there is probably half a millimeter offset. So what we do, just heat up a bit the wax, just a little bit, just to make it pliable, and pressing down, we make slide the top to the stone, on the stone. As you can see, the dial is going up. We don't want it to go all the way back to 0 because otherwise we're gonna move it the opposite direction. So we go like halfway to 0. We re-zero it again on the 48, and then we check it again on the 96 at the side. And you see, it's exactly on 0 now. 96, 48. It means that the stone is centered, at least for those two index. Now we find out on 72 and the other side is 24. I'm pretty happy with it, you know. Okay, so we have, you know, if 72 and 24 would have a bigger offset, off center or eccentricism, we would do the same thing, but I showed you already with the previous one, so it should be fine. Now the stone is perfectly centered into the top, and we just go do the girdle line. Girdle line is in 90 degrees, and we just wear off as much as we need just to establish the girdle and make the stone completely straight. So let's do it. It's squarish, but not what we need, so let's cut it. You pick it up and to see the beginning of, you know, the girdle is starting showing up. Some stones have some cortex to be removed before getting to the right material, to the clean material. In this case, we don't weigh out much because it's an emerald. So 96 is done. Let's bring it to the same thickness on 48. Okay. Alright, let's measure how much we did here this time. So 96.48, and we are at 6.5. Okay, let's do the other one. 72 and 24. Let's remove these ones. They'll leave this little indents. Maybe we have to recenter the stone. Let's check. A little bit more. Yeah, that's more like it. I like it more. But we have to check. We have to make sure that the stone is still centered. I have my doubts. So let's have a look. Let's measure 72, and it's on 0. And let's measure 24, which is the opposite, which is a bit far away from the 0. So we can compensate that, recentering the stone. This is normal, as most of the times when there are inclusions and you want to move the stone a bit on the side to remove the inclusion, you gotta do this job here. I also don't like to preform, so alright, 24, 72, it's close enough. Okay, yeah, 72 and 24. So now let's do the pavilion, the first facet at the bottom, which has to meet here. So we're going to do them at 41 degrees because it's the minimum that the emerald can take before the light starts to seep through. So we put the machine at 41. There we go. And then we raise up the mast so it can hang. And then we're going to grind it out on 41. So 96. We're already at 96 on 41 degrees until they meet 24 and 48. I mean 96 and 48. Show you what's going on. See that? That's our facet. Now that one has to reach all the way to the end of the stone and meet the other one in the other side we're gonna make. Alright, so let's do it. 96. Got a bit of grinding here to do. yeah, I sweep a bit the stone on the lap. This helps to keep the laps flat and to weigh them off equally everywhere. See, show you now what we're doing. The facet is growing. I'm not going to go below 41 because I don't like fisheye. I don't like fisheye stone, so we just grind at 41 until we reach, until the midpoint that occurs. Alright, let's do it also the other side. 48. As you can see, I'm applying pressure directly onto the stone, not to force too much the bond between the dop and the stone itself. Okay, so you see, it's almost reaching there. Almost reaching. And when we reach, we stop. Okay, almost there, but I will stop with this grain, because in any case you have to go again with a thinner grain and we meet nicely. You see the cracks inside. Well, that's emerald. All right, so this is okay. 41 degrees. Let's make another one at 43. And we're happy with it. I wouldn't go more, because then the space between, see on top, the space for the girdle, for the crown, it's not that big, because I want to keep it as wide as possible. So let's make it 43, and that's it. So way up the way. That's it. See, that's a 43. The 43 is this, the 40, wait. The 41 was this one here. This is the 43. Let's do it also the other side. Okay, these facets are approximate because we have to go with a finer disc. Now, let's do the 72s. I want to keep the weight of the stones. And 70. Almost like a tourmaline. I won't bother, but we'll keep the stone heavy. And still nice. We go 70 until the girl. This is the best option, I think. 72 and 24. Okay. See now? Okay. Now we changed the lap and we refine this shape, and we do again the faceting underneath. Okay, this is a Rytec 600, which is supposed to cut like 1200. We go directly to the pre-polish because the stone is small. Okay. Time is money. So it's a bit unorthodox, but I don't care. We put the machine 90 degrees. So we refine the girdle line nicely. We pre-polish it. Ta, 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 ta. Okay. 24. 72. 48. 96. The different noises that you hear is that when the lap touches the stone or the wax. Again 96. Okay, now we got 48, 96 in the same level, and also 72 and 24. Now we go for the corners. We cut up a bit the corners just because the emerald is a delicate stone. We're going 12. 12, 36, 60, and 84. As you can see, every time I do the first facet, I allow the stone, the machine, to grind, bring it the first facet to the others, the same depth. I cut the same depth for all facets. Okay, so you can see now that the girdle line is done. Okay, and there is a bit of corner cut off. Not really too much, just to prevent the stone from breaking easily. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pre-polish all the facets we did so far. We're going to take off this chip here. See that? And hopefully the stone is going to remain one piece. Alright, let's go. So we said on 96, 48 is going to be 45 degrees. Did I say 45? No, it's 43 degrees. 40, let me see how much space there is here. Yeah, it can be 45. Alright, let's start first for 41, which is the bottom facet, and see where we reach. The most important facet from this moment is the facet which has number 41 as degrees, because we don't want to go below that for optical reasons. Smoothing up nicely. (96, 48) at 41 degrees. Yes. Okay, now we go 43 and see where we reach. Let's do 43, 45. We're going to split in 3. Alright, let me show you. See that? That's 41, 43. We're going to do the same on the other side. And then we add up 45. So we're going to cover also the chip which is on the other side. Alright. Yeah, it's already gone. Now 45. There we go. 41, 43, 45. And the same thing on the other side. Alright, now we go 70 on 72. We meet the 48 facet and the 96 facet at the girdle. Yeah, that means That means that, look, I show you. Okay, I'm gonna show you nicely. You see, this is the 45 on the 48, and the other side is the 70 on the 24. As you can see, there is one which is higher than the other one, so we have to bring this one to the same level of that one, and then we're done. Now there is the 12 in between here, the facet of a corner. So first we do that at 45 degrees also. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we're gonna grind this out until we meet the 48, which is this point, and then will give us the guideline for the 70 in this side. Alright, so let's put it at 45 because those are pro forma facets. 45. I'm gonna put it on 12. There we go. See that? That's at 45 degrees. We flatten it with this. See, with the 48 here. Okay. So we can cut all of them, the 12, 36, 60 and 84 at the same depth. So we even our girdle. Okay. And now we're going to do the 70 degrees for the 21, for the 24 and the 72. We're going to start with 70, which is the one next to the feather which reaches the goal. And we add 2 angles just to break down the facet and to polish quicker. So let's see now. Almost there. Yeah, we're done already. Okay, so I can show you that we have an even girdle line. And that's what we wanted to achieve. Even girdle line. The girdle is this. All the way around it. Okay, we're gonna break the facets. 70 we go 50. And then maybe a 60, let's see how the 50 looks like. 50 degrees. I think 50 degrees is going to be our maximum. So we're going to put 60 in between. Yeah. Otherwise we lose too much weight. 24 and 72. And we put on the 60 degrees and we do the same. Okay, have a look. So we got 70, 60 and 50. And then we go for the polish. For the polishing of the stone. I usually use ultralux with a double diamond. Many people use water underneath. I prefer using grease. So I'm going to spray some spray lubricant. Like that. And then I'm going to use it as a cleaner. The one at the bottom is just another lap. A master lap can be in aluminium, but in this case this one is in, I think it's in perspex, plastic. Okay, so now we got a nice layer of fat, of grease, and we just put the ultra lap. I already make like 4 or 5 stones with these ultra laps. Let's see if it's suitable for this, otherwise we'll chuck it away and we put a new one. Ready the debris to come out and to squeeze out the lubricant underneath. And we put a dab of diamond powder. Use this, the least used finger of my hand. Yeah. And then we're ready to polish. Okay, good. And again we go. We just pass on top of the facets again. That's it. When you put the diamond powder, the water has to flow very slowly, because of course otherwise it's going to wash away the lap. Okay, this is done. Now let's go on 70. Put it down a bit. See, to polish facet this side, to polish facet this side. Now we go on the last one, which is at 50 degrees. Okay. Now this one's all the 3 ones are polished. So, okay, 50 degrees. Let's go in 45. At 45, that was the ones for the corners. We got 12. Okay. You can see also the corner ones are done. Now we go for the 45 degrees, 43 degrees, 41 degrees, and 96 and 48. 45 we already did, so we just use the same angle. Okay, I want to show you here. There is a problem on polishing. I don't know how to act. There we go. Alright, you see one side the ways are, it polishes quicker than the other, which is this. This side it touches more than this. This you fix it with the cheater. So the stone touches like this the lap. So we've said that this side touches more. That side is the inside part, which is this one here. On this side. So on this side is less wearing. So what we do, the cheetah, okay, and this is the cheetah. What we do is we move the stone a bit slightly towards that side, so it touches more that side, and it wears off the stone evenly. To do so, we push it up. As you can see, as you push it up, you see, this thing moves. Show you, see the gap on that side gets smaller, smaller and smaller and smaller. That's too much. You just a little bit we have to modify it. So it was on 0, it was exactly in the center, and we just probably take off 2. So here there are numbers 076. So we just lower it off 2 and see what happens as a result. Too much, because as you can see now, I'll show you, we are stuck wearing the stone. This is not easy to show you. Okay, let's try. See that? Yeah. Now it was only one side, but now in the center it's lacking of polishing. Yeah, you can see it now. See, this is very well polished. That side started polishing because I cheated it too much in the center. So I lower it. I mean, as I move it to 2 numbers, I probably had to move it only 1 number to be in the center, which I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna reduce the cheat of 1 number, touch again and see what happens. Okay, well, you can see, yeah, it's getting a bit skew, but the facet is polished completely. Let's try the other side. I'm gonna compensate the skewing with later on with the cheetah. Yeah, it wears off perfectly now. Polishes very nicely. See that? Yeah. Okay, now let's go on to 43. It was the middle facet, and then 41 was the last one, and we turn the stone. Okay, this is the finished pavilion. Now we can go. Now we can start cutting the crown. Color is very nice. Let's see the way it will look once finished. Okay, we're going to transfer it now on the transferring block. We blanket the top with the wax on the stone with a bit of paper and water. That will keep the stone from shifting while the hot wax on the other side is going to touch it. Alright, like this. We select the right dop for the stone. And that should do. Now we can even go a bit bigger, let's see. Yeah, I like this more. Yeah. So, same procedure as before, we see you as we transfer it. We heat up the wax of the new dop, and then we press it together. Smelt it slightly. Very delicate. Not to heat up too much the stone. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Now we blanket also the new wax so that it cools out quickly. In space of some time. Yes. Alright, let's take it out. The stone here is here now, and we can work the top. Clean up this residue of wax on the top. and we're ready to go. Okay. It's valid the same story like before. We're just gonna realize the facet on the crown, and I'll just come back to you in detail when we're gonna cut the table, which is slightly different from the rest. Otherwise everything flows just like for the pavilion. So see you soon, stay tuned. I'll show you now how to do the table. Okay, I cut the top, the crown, as you can see. There are heavy cracks in it, but okay, it doesn't matter. Now we're gonna cut the table. To do so, we're gonna use this tool here, the 45 degrees top holder. So I'm gonna show you how it works. See, put a dab this side, so that once we put a 45 degrees in the machine, this one we put in the machine, this one is going to be 0. Let's put it on the machine. Let's put it 45 degrees. Okay, as you can see now, the machine lies down to make the table. So that's the table. Okay, and then we go all over again, all of the facets to pre-polish and then polish. And I'll show you when the stone is done, and I'll undop it. Okay? See you soon. Just wanted to show you the polishing of a table. Okay, let's go on. Okay, the stone is polished. Now the next step is just to free it from the wax and clean it up nicely. Let's soften up the wax. You never put heat straight to the stone because it might be very dangerous. Okay, just enough to allow the stone to get out. Yes. So clean. And we put it in aceton for a couple of minutes. Oh, there was another dot. Okay. Let's clean for overnight. Yeah, let's clean. Okay, and now we take out the stone. Yeah, either leave it there for a while, or otherwise to speed up a bit you apply a bit like this. Sometimes, most of the times I can't wait to see the final result of the stone I did, so I'm too impatient to leave it there and wait that everything melts. So I'll give a quick bath. Okay, that's our emerald. Beautiful. Let's go with a better light. Okay, this is the result. Not bad at all. Very nice stone. Let's see the weight. Let's see the weight. It's 133. I expected 30 point more, but I'm satisfied. 1 carat 33. Nice stone. Okay, that's the way you cut an